Once the Baal Shem Tov was sitting with his pupils, and he started to dance. Maybe it was on a Shabbat, sitting with his pupils, and suddenly he became tremendously happy, and he started to dance. So they asked him, his pupils danced with him. They stood up and danced with him. The master is dancing, so it must be happy. I mean, he's supposed to be happy all the time, but this must be a special cause for happiness. So they all danced with him. When they couldn't dance anymore, so one of them asked the Baal Shem Tov, is there a reason for this sudden burst of joy? And he said, yes. A few days ago, there came to me a woman, and she wanted a blessing for children. And I saw in heaven that it was determined she shouldn't have any children. She didn't have children. It was a decree. But she pleaded and she begged. And so I promised her that she would have children. And there is a saying that that God can make a decree, and a tzaddik, a righteous Jew, can negate the decree. So I did. I said, you will have a child. God willing, you'll have a child. She promised. And just now, a voice came out from heaven and said, Baal Shem Tov, because you went against me, because you went against God, this woman was not supposed to have any children. And you blessed her that she should have children. So you went against God. So therefore, you lost your place in heaven. And that's what I was happy. That's why I'm happy. If I lost my place in heaven, it means now I can for sure do Torah and commandments for no thought of myself. If I'm for sure promised that I'm not going to go to heaven, then I'll never creep into my mind the thought, wow, I'm going to get a big heaven because of this. Think about, I really did a big mitzvah now. So that thought of myself will never come into my mind. And that it freed me from my own, any possibility of ulterior motives. And that's why I'm happy. That's why I'm happy. And they say, that's the story. They say that the last breath of the Baal Shem Tov, that the last thing he said before he passed away was, Al tavi'eni regel gaiva. Do not, the first letter is etrog. Don't bring me to any sort of egotism, selfishness. In other words, Baal Shem Tov could have said, look at this, my whole life I've served God. I avoided any pitfalls, any mistakes. I was only serving God. I helped so many people. Wow, I really feel good. Don't bring me to that feeling of how great I am and how good I am, and that feeling of self-satisfaction, right? I shouldn't have that feeling of you always have to be happy, and you have to be happy with yourself, but you should never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. There's always so much more to be left to do. So if the Baal Shem Tov passed away, let's say he was 70 years old, he could have said, if I only had just one more moment to live, one more day, I could do even more, I could do even more. That should be his main thought. Instead of being satisfied with what was, he should be dissatisfied of what could be in the future. Have a good day with Mashiach now. See you all, God willing, tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning.